WNBA free agency off to a blazing start. We got news coming out of the desert in Phoenix, Arizona. The unicorn, Satou Sabally, will not be returning to the Phoenix Mercury. I told you this new CBA free agency, it is changing the entire landscape.
Free agency just exploded in Phoenix as Satou Sabally, a rare unicorn talent, nearly 7 feet tall with the ability to handle the ball and shoot from anywhere on the court, has decided to leave the Mercury after just one season. And this isn't due to a trade or release, but a personal choice that has already sent shockwaves across the league, with multiple teams lining up meetings and preparing serious offers to secure her, raising a massive question about what really went wrong behind the scenes and how a team that was just one series away from a championship could suddenly lose one of its core stars like this.
Will not be returning to Phoenix. Now, I guarantee if the CBA wasn't the way it was and they could afford 3 maxes and could still court a quality team, they would probably be bringing her back, but they can't do it. This here is on Yahoo Sports. Satou Sabally is not expected to re-sign with the Mercury. Sabally should be with multiple teams once negotiations open up. So Satou Sabally done in Phoenix already. It was a short run. They had a shot in the championship, but it did not work.
Here's the reality Phoenix is dealing with, and it's the same reality that's about to reshape the entire league. The new CBA has completely changed the game, making it nearly impossible to afford 3 max contract players while still building a competitive roster around them. The numbers just don't add up anymore. Brittany Griner is already locked into a major deal. Diana Taurasi, even in the later stage of her career, still commands both respect and a significant salary, and Kalia Copper is coming off a career-best season and is ready to be paid accordingly. That means someone had to go, but what makes this situation so intriguing is that Satou Sabally was the one holding all the leverage. At 29, she's entering her prime and stands out as one of the most unique talents in the league, a near 7-footer who averaged 18 points and 8 rebounds while shooting 37% from beyond the arc. And that's not just max contract value. That's the kind of player you build an entire franchise around.
Real whiny, real complaining. And y'all know Satou want a max. She complained all last season. I want my money. She don't care. She want the bag. Who is gonna cough up the dough for Satou Sabally?
Let's be honest about Satou Sabally's mindset. She's never been shy about wanting to be paid what she believes she's worth. Throughout last season, she made it clear she felt underpaid and undervalued, even voicing those frustrations publicly and signaling that once free agency arrived, she intended to secure the deal she truly deserved. Phoenix saw this coming from miles away and had months to try and solve the financial puzzle, but in the end, they simply couldn't make it work. Now, this situation becomes even more interesting when you look at the expansion teams, especially the Golden State Valkyries, who are entering the league with a clean slate and plenty of cap space. They need a star, a true face of the franchise, and Satou Sabally fits that role perfectly. She has the elite talent, strong name recognition from her time in Dallas, and she's already proven she can deliver on the biggest stages.
This is going to be very, very, very interesting to see. Okay, it's a bunch of free agents out there. I think the Golden State Valkyries could make a big-time push for Satou. I could definitely see the Golden State Valkyries making a push for Satou. I could see Portland, Toronto. I could see these teams making a push to bring in Satou Sabally on a max deal and have her be the #1 option on the team. She's gonna have plenty of suitors. She's gonna have plenty of suitors, and I think she's gonna make a big time splash.
Portland and Toronto are in a very similar position. Brand new franchises looking to make an immediate impact, and the reality is you can't build an expansion team around role players and hope for the best. You need that one star who walks into the arena and instantly changes the culture. Satou Sabally has the ability to be that player for any of these teams, someone who could step into a place like Golden State and become the #1 option from day one. Something she never fully had in Phoenix with Diana Taurasi still leading the charge. But there's also real risk involved. Satou has a history. She previously forced her way out after being drafted by the Dallas Wings, and she's been very vocal. sometimes to the point of becoming a distraction, about her contract situation. Any team offering her a max deal is essentially betting that once she's paid and made the focal point, those issues will settle down. The Wings learned the hard way that talent alone doesn't guarantee chemistry. Even with Satu, Eric Ogunbowl, and a solid supporting cast, things never truly clicked, and she ultimately wanted out. Now Phoenix finds itself in a similar situation. A highly talented player, gone after just one season, adding to a pattern that echoes situations involving players like Skylar Diggins-Smith.
Skylar Diggins. Now, Skylar Diggins put out something where she wrote a letter to her home state in Indiana, and how she's talking about there's nothing like playing basketball in Indiana. Are you trying to make a ploy for the Indiana Fever to come get you? I'm going to be honest. I'm out. I'm all the way out on Skylar Diggins joining Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. I want nothing to do with it. I have watched. I saw what Skylar Diggins was doing. Jewel Lloyd wanted nothing to do with Skylar Diggins, NECA, and the coach up there in Seattle. Jewel Lloyd didn't want nothing to do with them. I got to keep it real. I remember Skylar Diggins arguing a lot in Phoenix when she was with Diana Taurasi and the Mercury and all that. I don't want nothing to...
Now shifting to the other major free agency storyline unfolding right now, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and what feels like a perfectly timed love letter to Indiana. She posted an emotional message about growing up there, describing how basketball isn't just a sport in Indiana but a way of life, calling herself a child of the corn, and emphasizing that she's never forgotten her roots. But the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Indiana is coming off the biggest season in WNBA history thanks to Caitlin Clark, with sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings, and now the flexibility of cap space and open roster spots. Right as free agency begins, here comes Diggins-Smith, a Notre Dame legend and Indiana native, publicly expressing her love for home. On paper, it sounds perfect. A veteran point guard who can mentor a rising superstar, a hometown hero returning to elevate the team, a story that practically writes itself. But beneath that surface lies a major concern. Skylar Diggins-Smith brings baggage, and it's the kind of risk Indiana simply cannot afford at this stage.
I'm sorry, I'm good. And you're probably going to be expecting to log heavy minutes. We don't need that type of backup. We need somebody that's going to come play 8 to 10 minutes in mind and go on, be quiet, go on about their business, be a team player. I don't have time for Skylar Diggins. You know, I think she's a good player. She's a good point guard, but I feel like it's a lot of drama that be following her in this league. And I just don't want nothing to do. I don't want nothing to do with these old guard players. I'm be real. I don't want nothing to do with them. But let's take a look at what Skylar Diggins had to say in this heartfelt message to Indiana. And I kind of want to, this is a certain part I really want to get to, and then I'll play the entire thing. Let's take a look.
Let's talk about Skylar Diggins-Smith's track record, because talent has never been the issue. It's everything that comes with it. Seattle moved on from her after just one season, with head coach Noel Quinn reportedly having no interest in continuing that partnership. And before that in Phoenix, there were well-documented tensions, including clashes with Diana Taurasi that created locker room friction. She's bounced around the league not because she can't play, she absolutely can as a legitimate starting caliber point guard, but because of the drama that seems to follow her wherever she goes. And that's exactly why Indiana has to be careful. This is a team that already has its foundation set with Caitlin Clark, who is not only the face of the franchise, but also the primary ball handler coming off one of the greatest rookie seasons in league history, leading the league in assists and breaking the single-season assist record. Alongside her is Kelsey Mitchell, who's navigating her own contract situation and adjusting to a new system under head coach Stephanie White, plus Aaliyah Boston, who is still developing into a dominant force in the paint. The last thing Indiana needs right now is another strong personality demanding minutes, touches, and control of the offense. Because let's be real, Skylar isn't coming in to play a limited bench role. At 34, she still sees herself as a starter and a primary playmaker. But with the ball firmly in Caitlin Clark's hands, the question becomes unavoidable. Where does Skylar actually fit in this system?